Hi, tonight's homework was just the figuring out whether a double stuffed Oreo has as much has double the stuff. So, pieces of data that we need to measure or calculate, and then we're going to label them as measured or calculator. Well, we're going to need to know the mass of stuff, literally stuff. I'm going to use grams for that, and then I'm going to need to know the mass of double stuff. I'm going to do that in grams too. Now, I can't mass that stuff on the scale. And so I'm going to need, these are going to be calculated pieces of data because I'm going to need to figure out some other things. An easy way to figure out the mass of the stuff is to just mass a cookie. And I'm going to do that on a piece of paper. So a mass of a cookie and a piece of paper because I don't want to put my cookie directly on the scale. And so I'll also need the mass of a piece of paper. These are both measurable things. I can measure both of these things on the scale. And I can scrape off the cream, throw that away. I got a regular cookie and I need a double cookie. So mass of a double cookie and paper in grams. And then I can go ahead and take off all of the cream or the stuff on the inside, and I can have just the mass of cookie, no stuff, and paper. And I can have the mass of my double cookie, no stuff, and paper. And both of those are measurable things. And by subtracting those two things, I can get the mass of just the stuff. And I would look for a 2 to 1 ratio. And so the only other thing that I think I'm missing is just the mass of, or the percentage of stuff by mass. And I want to probably do this not just with one cookie, but with a couple cookies, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 cookies, just to make sure that that ratio holds to be true. So maybe instead of doing a cookie, I could do mass of cookies and paper. So again, we don't have to do this in any set order as far as doing the data, but we kind of need to get a handle on what we want to measure, what we want to calculate. So the stuff that goes in the calculated data table is going to be these things, and the stuff that goes in the measured data table is going to be the stuff that's labeled with the blue marker. And let's just kind of figure out how we'd create our calculated data table. Well, let's do our measured first, actually, on this one. I think that might be a little bit easier. So let me scroll down to the measured. Oops. I'm going to just scroll down to the measured data table. I'll go ahead and stick all of... Okay. Oops. So anything that's measured, I'm going to go ahead and... Well, I need to know the number of cookies. And then maybe I'll try it with 1 cookie, see if it's repeatable, 2 cookies, 3 cookies. We'll try it with a few different number of cookies and make sure that that remains the same. And then I'm going to do the mass of a regular cookie plus paper, the mass of paper in grams, and you get the idea. All the other things that are up here need to go back down into there, anything that's in measured. And then I do the same thing with the calculated. And then for my procedure, I just need to kind of tell what, step by step, what I'm going to do. So I would eliminate gather materials, clean up, all the stuff that's sort of expected, and just get at the nitty-gritty of what we're actually doing. So we're going to mass a piece of paper. And we're going to mass the paper with 1 Oreo. And then we're going to remove cream using scoopula, or the scoop. Remass cookie and paper. And then repeat using 1 double stuff. Oops, stuff Oreo. And then maybe our 6th thing is to repeat steps 1 through 5 using 2, 3, 4 cookies. I think we actually only ended up with 3. And we don't have to say to clean up. Those are things that are expected. That would be like saying tie your shoelaces, brush your teeth, like change for school. These are things that are kind of expected. But something that's out of the ordinary, something that we would actually want somebody to know to do in the procedure, are going to go there. Number 5 says, is it possible to remove all traces of stuff from the cookie? And I think that that's an error. Like, we can't remove everything. Some of it's kind of gets stuck inside the cookie. So some cream stuck to cookie, and there's no way to completely remove all that cream. Okay, and then the second question, the follow-up question, if you repeated the experiment and prevented this from happening, what would happen to your measured mass of stuff? So if we repeated it, we would expect to lose more cream. We would lose more cream because some is still stuck to there. And so the mass of the stuff, based on the experiment that we did, would go up. If we repeated the experiment and prevented this from happening, what would happen to our calculated percent? The percent might stay the same, but because we don't know how much is lost, but it probably would go up based on that ratio. So while we might have gotten a 1.85 to 1 ratio, now maybe we get a 1.90 to 1 ratio. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit. I will see you guys tomorrow.